Is that sparkling water?
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of the SaVeg podcast.
The SaVeg podcast.
What happened to your accent, Daniel?
Me accent disappeared, Rose.
Did it not?
It did.
And right now we're doing this weird accent where it's like a mix between New Zealand and
Australian, Irish, UK.
Sorry.
It's just a mix, isn't it?
It's just a good mix of a different accent.
You know what accent it reminds me of? Well,
What,
it's completely
Daniel?
different, but you know how Moira on Schitt's Creek, she had like a...
She had a very interesting accent.
And that guy, that old man that did the review, he put like a indistinguishable accent. And she's like, I have no idea who he's talking about. It's like, clearly it's you.
Anyways, so today it's going to be a bit of a pre-recordation.
And Rose, can you tell the young kids why we're doing a pre-recordation?
Oh my guys, we are hyper as fuck. We just recorded a spicy noodle challenge for my main channel.
Yeah.
And so we're still like the spicy fumes are still in us.
They're still kind of there. They're still hyping us up a little bit.
A little bit. We're a bit hyper.
I think you're very hyper.
I'm sorry, you're
Just don't know, right?
You're the one that's been starting this accent. It's very weird. Is that sparkling water? Is that champagne in there? It's a bit early for champagne, don't you think?
Look at that steam.
Daniel, it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're already starting on the champagne.
It's 10 a.m. somewhere. Oh, God.
You guys, we're doing a pre-recordation because I will be gone most of September.
And tell the kids, the beautiful kids,
I will be in Turkey or Turkey and Greece. Very
nice.
Exciting. I'm hosting 2 trips, one in Turkey, one in Greece.
Yeah. Which one's first?
Turkey's first.
Okay.
We're doing Istanbul and a few other places.
It's gonna be so nice.
I'm so excited. I've never been to Turkey.
I'll be jealous, guys.
Very exciting. And then in Greece, we're doing Athens and Santorini.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, have you been to Greece? You have been to Greece.
I haven't been to Turkey, but I've been to Greece.
Have you been to Athens?
No.
You haven't been to Athens, really?
I think I flew.
You only went to the islands, right?
Yeah, we did island hopping and stuff,
which is nice as well.
It was incredible, and we did like
Did you do Santorini?
No, we went to different islands.
No, which island did you go?
Sorry, there's some islands called the Ionian Islands.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I heard it's beautiful as well.
It's so nice. So we stayed on the Isle of Kefalonia. We were there most of the time because it was like for my aunt's wedding. And we did like little excursions and stuff. And I seem to remember we took a boat to like another island. Anyway, it was like stunning. And where we were staying, like my grandparents like rented this like villa thing. And it was like literally like a 5-minute walk to the beach.
Oh,
so nice. I was just at the beach like every single day.
Oh, so nice.
And the weather, we were there for 2 weeks. It was like just beautiful the entire time.
Oh, I love Greece.
Yeah, it was so nice.
Very excited. So I'll be somewhere in either Turkey or Greece, just enjoying life.
You've been to Greece before, right?
I have.
Yeah.
I've been to Athens. I've been to Santorini. So we're going to those 2 places.
And you're going to Mykonos too, right?
No, we're not doing Mykonos. I've never actually been to Mykonos.
Yeah.
But I have been to Crete. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, really want to go to Athens at some point.
Oh, Athens is so cool.
Yeah, I really want to go
kind of
there.
sad though, because it's like, it used to be the fucking epicenter
of the world.
Everything.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I mean, it's still really cool because
Yeah.
it's like you're seeing, the Pantheon and all these like, historic sites and all these ruins and it's very like, holy shit. But at the same time, you're like, oh, now it's just kind of like run down and, like it's just kind of sad. Yeah. And like
It's
they're not doing
unfortunate.
as well anymore, obviously, like not even close.
That's like a lot of places. Like you
like
look,
Rome. Think about Italy, right?
Yeah, Italy's another one. But another good example too, going back even further, is look at like Central and South America.
Oh,
like
so sad.
They used to have huge, I mean, not that they're, you know, but like they used to have these amazing, you know, cultures and all this stuff, which they still do. But like there's a lot of economic turmoil down there.
You know what it's thanks to? Fucking
colonialism.
The
white people trying to take everything for themselves.
Literally. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then also some, like for Greece, it would be like a lot of corruption and probably many other issues. But when it comes to South America, it's like basically colonialism. That was like.
Well, I heard like a lot of the like temples and stuff, like a lot of it got destroyed during colonialism because they were trying to like knock all this stuff down and build like famous churches and stuff. And it's quite interesting.
Like in South America.
Yeah. Right. And Central America too. Like when I was going through Central America, it's quite interesting because you can really see the like Spanish influence.
Right.
In terms of like you go to their city centers and it's like very like kind of like almost churches that you would see in Europe.
Sure.
So it was kind of weird. But then
So as in the Spanish people came in, knocked down all their other stuff, and then built their own churches.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that exists now, from when I was there, it was like ruins that were like in the jungle that maybe they couldn't find or whatever it might be. Like you know,
Oh goddamn, yeah. Even when I was in like Cancun, I remember we did like a little excursion to Chichen Itza.
Yeah.
And then like our guide was like a Mayan. Is it Mayan? Yeah, Mayan people, right?
I think it's Mayan, or is it Aztec?
Is it Mayan? Yeah, they were Mayan.
Yeah. Okay.
I just like wasn't sure what the like. Anyway, he was like talking about like because Mayans are like the like natives, I guess, of that region. Yeah. And he's like, and we're just like basically treated like crap and blah 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 because like again colonialism, like it's always like this.
So shitty.
Anyway, guys. Because of this, we're doing a pre-recordation.
Yes.
Because I will be in Greece and Turkey.
Yeah.
And so, what do we do when we do the pre-recordations, Daniel?
We do everyone's favorite. Am I the asshole?
Asshole. And the answer is always
you are. Yeah, Rose, you are the asshole.
Yeah, Daniel, you are also the asshole.
This is true. We're two assholes commenting on other people who are also assholes. So
it's been a while since we've done Am I the Asshole, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've been pretty good.
Now we're gonna have to do a few though because you're gone and then I'm gone and then you're gone again.
Are you gone, Daniel? Did you get your plane ticket?
I haven't booked it yet.
Daniel?
But I will.
You've been saying that for about 2 months at this point. And where are you going? You want to tell the peoples?
So I'm going, well, I have a few places. I'm going to a wedding in Summerland in BC. Then I'm going to my friend's place in Crow's Nest Pass. And then I might be going to the UK to visit me family and friends.
God damn.
Yeah, be excited. It's been a while since. It's been 2 years.
Very
since I've been
exciting.
to the UK. Did you go last year?
I did go last year. But it was, when did I go? I went this year, but very briefly, remember? Because I was going to the south of France. Yeah. So I did go. And I did go last year as well. But again, it was quite brief.
Yeah.
I think last year it was like when I was going to Morocco. Or when I was in Italy. I can't remember. Anyway, it was brief.
Yeah.
So I need to do like a proper trip.
Like a proper one.
But I don't know. There's always so many places to go.
I know.
And I cannot choose, you know.
You're not good at choosing, are you?
No. I like exploring new places, but I also like to revisit the places I've been to. So it's a bit of a toss up.
Have you ever thought of doing another work sabbatical?
A work sabbatical?
Well, not sabbatical.
When have I ever taken a sabbatical?
No, not a sabbatical. That's the wrong terminology.
Working holiday?
You remember how you did that trip and you did that Europe trip where you still were doing stuff for the channel?
Oh,
and
like kind of backpacking?
Traveling? Yeah.
I don't know, mate. I feel like I'm like, I don't want to say this. I feel like I'm a bit too old for that now.
Oh my
Not that I'm too old,
God.
but I feel like
Here we go.
Excuse me, Daniel.
Let's hear it.
It's like I like having a home base, and I think like if I went for too long of a time, it wouldn't be as enjoyable. Okay.
So what you're saying?
I would like to break things up. I like to come home, recalibrate, recharge.
Because I'm just envisioning you like, maybe over the winter finding a place in Spain for 2 months or something where you rent some place and you just like go work and have a home base there.
In a world where I didn't have a cafe, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not too old. Okay, guys, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you're never too old. You could be in your 40s and rent a place
exactly.
and just like,
I think for me, at where I am in my life, what I'm saying is not that I'm too old, but because I've done these things kind of when I was like in my 20s.
Yeah.
I'm less, it's almost like I got it out of my system.
Yeah.
But not like,
But I'm not talking so much about travel.
But like being a digital nomad kind of thing.
Like going and being like, hey, you know what?
I could do.
I don't want to be in Calgary for January, February because it's so fucking cold.
Right.
I'm going to go to Bali or somewhere like this.
I could do.
Rent a place for 2 months and have like a home base there. And you're still working. You're still, but then you're enjoying this beautiful weather. You maybe have a pool.
So why don't you do that, Daniel?
Because I can't do that with my job.
Oh god damn, Daniel.
If I had a digital job,
you would.
I would tell you right now, I would do. I know for sure I would do a month or so in the UK. Just to spend time with like family and stuff. And then I'd do it every year. I'd go for like a month or 2, and then I'd do maybe like 1 month in Spain or something.
God damn, Daniel.
Yeah. So that's why I need to get a digital job, bros.
That's why we need to win the lottery.
Yes.
We both bought lottery tickets the other day. Well, I bought my first lottery ticket.
Yeah.
2 lottery tickets.
Yeah.
I'm 35 years old, never bought a lottery ticket in my life. And I was hoping that I'd get beginner's luck, but I did not.
No.
We planned our entire lives.
We did. We had everything planned out, guys.
Like, if I win, I'll pay off your mortgage. If you win, you'll pay off my mortgage. Yep. We'll go on a trip together.
A bougie trip, first class travel. With the sleeper beds.
Fun. It was fun to imagine for a second there.
It was. That was just like, the things I would do. Anyway, guys.
Shall we jump into the Am I the Asshole?
We shall, and we will. Oh, my goodness. Oh, God.
Okay, let's see. Do you want to pick one?
Yeah. You're taking your sweet ass motherfucking time. What happened to your little...
What, Daniel?
Didn't you have a little thing on the back?
No! I haven't had one of those in like years.
You know what, Rose? I don't believe it.
I seriously... When's the last time?
I don't know.
Go watch through all these videos. Tell me when I've had a fucking handle on my back, on the back of my phone.
Am I the asshole for not consenting to my husband's twin brother moving in with us? My husband and I got married less than a year ago. For most of our relationship, one of our biggest issues and cause of arguments has been his family. My husband has a large family, and including half siblings, he is one of 12 children. Oh. This includes his twin brother, Sam, who has autism. Oh. One of his younger brothers also has autism, but is higher functioning. Previously, before we married, one of my husband's brothers moved in with us for 8 months. I knew going into it that it was going to be temporary, and therefore I okayed it. However, I made it very clear then that his family member staying with us wasn't really ideal for me. Both of my husband's autistic brothers have spent most of their lives with their grandpa. However, back in 2018, they decided it was no longer appropriate for Sam to live with their grandpa due to his higher care needs. Sam moved in with their oldest sister and has lived there ever since. Sam is mostly nonverbal, and although he has some independent skills, he needs help with everyday tasks and shouldn't really be left home alone for more than an hour. My sister-in-law's youngest child left home early last year, and she's now planning to move in with her eldest son and her grandkids. She can only do this if she can find a new home for Sam. Recently, my husband came to me and told me he wanted Sam to move in with us. He argued we have the space, and he thinks, and he has the time to look after Sam. He thinks as Sam's twin, it is his duty to be the one to take Sam in. And he also said their sister is still going to be spending a lot of time with Sam. I feel bad, but I told him I didn't want Sam to live with us. This would be a long-term living arrangement, not temporary like his older brother. I told him he should have told me before marriage that he would be wanting his brother to live with us. I feel because he didn't, it's my right to say no now. This is a big change that will affect the rest of our foreseeable future and our future plans of starting a family. Yesterday, my husband and I were at my sister-in-law's home discussing Sam's future, and I told her I didn't want Sam to move in with us. I suggested to her if she stayed in-house to look after Sam, my husband and I can try to be a bigger help to her. She became annoyed with me after that and complained she's been looking after her younger siblings since kindergarten, became a teen mom, and raised 7 kids of her own. Oh. And she can finally now have the time to do what she wants. I expressed my opinion that she was being cold to Sam, who was incredibly attached to her. I could see him getting very depressed living away from her. She got mad at me after that. Although my husband said he would only take Sam in with my consent, I can tell he's going to hold it against me if I don't. Am I being the asshole? I think they're being very short-sighted about Sam's future, and all the siblings have flat out refused him going into a home.
Oh, God.
What the fuck do you do?
I don't know. Like, I'm going to say not the asshole initially, right off the bat, but it's also a difficult situation. I understand, her husband's kind of point of view.
Of course.
But he also needs to understand
her point of view.
That
would be so tough. 'Cause I'm just thinking if I moved in with my partner and then my partner's like my twin brother who's nonverbal.
Who's like sick and I'm not sick, sorry. Who's autistic.
Yeah.
Nonverbal, needs care.
Can't be left alone for more than like an hour.
See, that's not an easy situation.
No, that's like a full-time job in itself. And he's like, well, I have the time to do it. It's like, yeah, but that's
No, you don't. It's going to fall on her. At least some of it.
Exactly. So... And I don't know, is that something that she signed up for? Is that something, I don't know, maybe I'm being selfish, but I don't know if I'd be comfortable.
Is there no other sibling that can take the sibling in?
Apparently 11 other siblings 10 other siblings have said no.
No, they didn't say no. They said no to
to a home. Right.
See, that's the part where I'm like, listen, I feel like that's someone like that, like where they are very autistic, like they need to have care, like
they
proper
do.
care.
But then it's like hard because if there's 12 siblings, so 2 of them are autistic, 10 of them aren't. But then it's like they're all probably all married and they have their kids.
Yeah.
And like he was living until recently with his grandparents. Or with
right. That's the thing.
With his I guess it would be his parents or no grandparents.
His parents or I don't know. He was living with someone that was taking care of them.
Then he lived with his sister, this sister-in-law.
Yeah.
So or his sister.
Or his sister. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? What would you do?
This is a really on the fence one, guys. I mean, I don't think she's being an asshole at all, but I think also it's a really complicated situation where it's like something else needs to be, because that's going to change your life. You know what I mean? That's going to
change everything. And it sucks. Like it's fucking sucks. But what are you supposed to do? I don't know. I think like she's right in that if, because obviously her husband, kind of is like, oh, I feel like it's my duty to take care of him because it's my twin brother.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, maybe that should have been discussed before marriage.
Yeah.
For sure. If that was the expectation,
100%.
Because it's like that. It's like, and again, like that's fair to, if I was in that situation, I would definitely like voice that before marriage, because I wouldn't want to, like if I wanted to take care of my sibling, my twin sibling especially, I wouldn't want the person I'm with to like resent me for it. You know what I mean?
And he would, like, no matter what, he's like, oh, I won't. It's like one of those questions that your partner asks where it's like, they ask the question, but they want you to say a certain answer. It's like me saying, you know what? I'm going to leave the option up to you. I support you in whatever decision that you make, but this is what I want to do. And if you don't pick that, then I'm going to be pissed off at you.
Well, and it's his brother, so I understand his perspective. But again, like if he thought that he wanted to take care of his brother, he should have voiced that. I don't know.
So people are saying not the asshole, but only for the question that you asked. He should have let you know earlier in the relationship if he had plans to move his brother in. Maybe you should have asked him sooner too.
But that's another thing. Do you not have these discussions? Like, you guys are fucking getting married.
Maybe they were in the pods, Rose. And they just didn't talk about this deep shit, apparently.
This is such an important discussion, especially when you have a twin brother. It's not like just like one of his brothers. It's like it's your twin brother that needs care. So it's like, I'm surprised that never got brought up.
Someone put here, however, that same person, however, you are the asshole for trying to manipulate and guilt trip the sister into continuing to be his main caregiver.
See, that's the part where I was a little bit like that conversation that she had with the sister-in-law.
Yeah.
It was basically like, oh, what was the thing again? It was like, oh, he's attached to you.
He's attached to you.
And so you need to take care of him.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, come on. I understand the sister-in-law's perspective.
Yeah.
Because she's probably fucking had to, take care of her whole fucking family and all her siblings for who knows, her entire fucking life.
Exactly.
So I understand that she's tired.
Yeah. So that people are agree with this. So a lot of people are saying you're the asshole for how you threw a guilt trip on someone who has been parentified and had their time and well-being extracted from them for damn near their whole life. That was a dick move. Not the asshole for standing the ground with your husband.
Yes.
Edit, though, I do think it was lacking in foresight on your part to marry someone with a disabled twin thinking it wouldn't impact your life.
This is true.
You should have had that discussion.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like you can't expect your husband to just fully disconnect from his siblings and especially his twin brother. Like obviously that's going to impact your life. Your parents aren't going to be around. His parents, I don't know. Again, like are their parents around?
No, they said their parents passed away.
Okay, so the grandparent, the grandparents are obviously not going to be around forever.
Yeah.
So it does fall on the siblings to take care of him. So
someone put divorce him now before you have kids with him.
Oh my God.
And then other people, everyone sucks here. you for telling that poor woman who just wants an independent life after decades of caring for others that she's being cold, and your husband for trying to force this on you. Sam needs to be in a group home, or you need to leave your husband.
I think the compromise could be he could be in a home that's close by that they could all visit because they have a lot of siblings. So they could all visit.
Yeah, I think
if nobody wants to take him in, which I do understand, like it is not easy to take care of someone that has autism, especially something that, you know, severe autism.
Exactly. It has to be something that you're both on the same page for, because it's going to change your life regardless, and it's going to have a huge impact, and you have to be both mentally prepared to do that. So, and if you're not, then I think, you know, there are other options that exist. So
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. I found one.
Yay!
Am I the asshole for stopping the car in the middle of an argument with my wife and walking home? The other night, I was driving my wife and kids home when we were involved in a bit of a road rage incident. I had accidentally cut some guy off, and he went absolutely ballistic, driving erratically around us, slowing down in front of us, and not allowing me to switch lanes or pass him. God fucking hell, these people
are crazy.
Fucking calm down. Okay, guys, I know road rage is a thing, and believe me, you and I both, we do get it sometimes.
I don't get it.
You get road rage.
I do sometimes.
But not like severe.
No, it's
like
not severe.
We're just
it's
like,
more just like,
this fucking asshole.
What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
Get out of my way, you
But
fucking
it's like,
idiot.
it is not worth like doing all this crazy shit.
People get crazy with
People
road
get
rage.
insane, and it's just not worth it. Just fucking pass and move on. Okay, there's nothing beneficial that you're gonna get from like fucking doing some crazy shit with some random stranger on the road that you're never gonna see again. Anyway. So there's a road rage incident. The whole time this is happening, my wife is frantically saying things like, "What did you do? Just get over. Just pass him," etc. Oh. So the guy's already pissed.
Yeah, and she's like,
"What did you do?"
Yeah.
All of which are not reasonable options given the absolute lunatic in front of me. When I was finally able to get off the highway, I angrily told her she wasn't helping the situation and basically to get off my ass. There was nothing I could do. As you can imagine, an argument ensued from there. Our emotions were running extremely high, and I was trying to keep it together in front of the kids when she suddenly erupted, screaming at me at the top of her lungs.
God damn.
At this point, my blood is boiling, and I'm at the absolute height of my emotions, and the only thing I can think to do is park the car, get out, and say, "Good night, I'm walking home." We were in our neighborhood on a residential street about a mile away from home. So it wasn't that far. No. Being fucking dramatic here. When I got home, I expected we'd both have time to calm down and talk about it by the next day. But I was surprised to find that she is now holding this action against me, telling me how it was unsafe and dangerous and terrifying for our kids, 3 and 1 years old, that I needed to control my emotions. I suppose I could have taken a different action, but in my mind, my action was much healthier than escalating the argument further and continuing to scream back. So what do you think? Am I the asshole?
Dun, dun, dun.
Everyone fucking sucks here.
What do you...
Everyone fucking sucks. The only non-assholes are the kids. Even the guy in the other car is also the asshole.
God damn. Everyone sucks
here. Everyone fucking sucks here. The wife screaming.
Yep.
Like unnecessary.
And oh my God.
And to say that it was bad to do that in front of their kids when she was the one screaming.
And guys, when you're driving and anybody just like chiming in like, "Oh, you just move around him. Just do that." It's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. You're not the one driving.
Yeah.
I had situation happen to me on the highway.
Oh, I think I know.
We were behind a big semi truck, and one of the guys that was in this road trip with us didn't want to be behind this fucking semi truck, so he kept being like, "Pass him, pass him." And so at one point I go, because it was like one of the highways where you have to get into the opposite lane of traffic to go around it. And as I did that, there was another semi coming. I was like, oh my, I veered back, and I was like, fuck this shit. We're not in a rush. We're on holidays. Yeah. So we're just going to stay behind the semi. And he was like, ugh. And then he made us stop because he's like, I need to go pee. So we stopped. And then as we're like, everyone's like peeing and whatever else. And then he comes up to me and he's like, well, I didn't actually have to pee. I just didn't want to be behind that fucking semi anymore.
Oh my God.
I was like,
what do you think, Daniel?
Everyone sucks here.
Yeah. I think like, again, the wife sucks for, fucking nagging and fucking yelling and doing all that and she's also getting, I feel like they're both getting fucking emotional in this car. Okay. And they're both acting all crazy in front of their kids.
Car trips can get heated.
Exactly. And they're both just being like not regulating their emotions. And he like, I mean, is it a good thing that he got out of the car? I think he could have just been like, okay, let's just talk about this when we get home.
They're so close to home. Exactly.
Let's just talk about it when we get home.
It literally would have been, what, a mile? What is that? Like a 5 minutes
literally,
in the car?
like fucking calm down. Okay?
I know.
You could just de-escalate by saying, listen, we can talk about this later. Let's not do this in the car. Which I get, like, people get heated and they do things that, like, you know, isn't the most ideal. I understand that. But I don't know. Everybody fucking asks.
Everyone sucks here.
Okay, let's look at the
what do the comments say? Roses?
So, first comment, not the asshole.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Your emotions were out of hand and you chose the best possible option, in my opinion. You walked away. I cannot abide by people who scream and screaming at me while I'm driving. Yeah, me and your wife would be having an entirely different fight. Okay, so people are saying, when emotions get that high, you really only got 2 options, leave or explode. He chose right. Really? Leave or explode?
Well, those are your only 2 options?
Those are not the only 2 options. You could just stay and just be like, we can talk about this later. I mean, I guess it depends on how bad the wife was yelling. Okay, somebody said, okay, I guess not everyone sucks here. Somebody said, not the asshole. If I'm driving and someone is shouting in my ear and and I tell them to stop and they won't, I will react physically in order to end that unsafe situation. You spoke to her calmly and she refused because she could not control her emotions and continuously escalated the situation. So you de-escalated the situation and now she's pissy because she is in the wrong and she doesn't want to admit it. In every situation, she's in the wrong because you don't harass the person driving. There's no justification for her not being in the wrong when she was creating an unsafe situation. And then she was escalating it, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, well.
Interesting. Well, I still think everyone sucks there.
Yeah. Let's see.
Seems like no one agrees with us, though, but that's fine because they're all assholes.
Let's see. Oh, God, there's too many. Hold on.
I hate when the comments, like the...
Yeah, I know.
And then you have to scroll to get to the next one. It's so annoying.
Come on, I want someone to agree with us. Oh, someone wrote, not the asshole at all. Apparently we have a unpopular opinion.
Wow.
The fact that she screamed, as you said, in front of your children is completely unacceptable. To avoid her further scaring the children, you left the situation. I would have done the same. It is not your fault some loser on the road went nuts. Interesting. Oh, and then someone wrote, OP also screamed. I would also hazard a guess that while the other driver was being an asshole, OP wasn't calm and collected. That's what I'm saying. I just feel like, what, were you just like fucking calm?
Just like, oh, we'll just go this way, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
exactly.
Like, no.
Let's see here.
Everyone sucks there.
Yeah. See, listen. It says, as you can imagine, an argument ensued from there. Our emotions were running extremely high, meaning the original poster was also probably arguing. Yeah. And then the wife started yelling. Okay. And then at this point, my blood was boiling. Yeah. So, okay, it is good if you are in a situation where you feel like, unless I leave, I'm going to erupt. Yeah. So I guess in that case, good to leave.
Yeah.
But maybe
you're
also
literally 5 minutes from home. You can't wait 5 minutes to get into the driveway and then get the fuck out of the vehicle and get your spice.
No, but like we're talking about someone here that like he's also going crazy. So I guess in that situation, if you're really bad at regulating your emotions in that situation, then yeah, probably best to leave the car.
Yeah, I still think everyone
But
sucks.
at the same time, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But it's like people are making it seem like, oh, he was fucking calm and cool and collected while she was yelling. Exactly. While she was yelling in his ear. And that doesn't seem like that's the case. Emotions were running extremely high and there was an argument. And my blood is boiling. And I'm at the absolute height of my emotions. So yeah, he also probably needs to, because like, what if you're in the highway? What would you have done, right? It's like, you need to learn, like, yes, it is good, I guess, to leave if you really feel like you're going to fucking explode.
Yeah.
But also it's like, can you like, again, maybe it's easier said than done, but like, what if you were in a highway, you couldn't get out of the car?
Exactly.
Would you have exploded in the car? You know, the other option is to learn to regulate your emotions.
And deal with it.
Especially in front of your fucking children.
Yep.
Again, maybe it's easier said than done, but like, I don't know.
I mean, Rose, you got to regulate your emotions too.
Daniels.
You know? No, just kidding.
Well, this is not going to be an example of me regulating my emotions. Road rage, my friends. Road rage. Did you ever watch Beef?
Yeah.
What a good show.
That was a good show, yeah. You know what I'm rewatching right now, though?
What are you rewatching?
Guys, White Lotus. Oh,
thank you. You're rewatching it.
My fucking
I told
God.
you to rewatch it.
I
I think I noticed you rewatching it.
Honestly.
Because I rewatched it recently and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's so good.
Well, and it also, I forgot how fucking funny it is as well.
It's so funny.
Like, honestly, there's a scene.
Are you on, season 1 or 2?
Season 1.
Oh.
I just got onto season 2.
Oh.
And there's a scene on season 1 and I forgot. I literally was I was like crying of laughter.
Which scene?
And it's the scene where the hotel manager talks to this one
favorite.
couple, and basically this couple, the guy's been pissed
So
about the
fucking
room
annoying.
and so annoying. And he's like, look, I want to do something special for my wife. And he's like, I have a great idea. There's another guest that's chartered this boat. You guys can join just for a candlelight dinner. And don't worry, you won't even notice the other guest is there. It's going to be totally fine. And then they all get onto the boat. And then Jennifer Coolidge, who's playing Tanya, I think.
Yeah,
Tanya,
yeah.
She gets on the boat and she's like, first of all, she's like, who the fuck are these people? Like looking, she's like kind of confused. And then she goes, well, thanks everyone for joining. And also these two people I don't know. We're here to dump my mother's ashes over the side of the boat. And then you should have seen the guy's face. He's like, what the fuck? And then they're like sitting trying to have their romantic dinner on the edge of the boat.
Oh, it's so funny.
And she's just there like waving. And then she like gets into hysterics.
Hysterics.
Oh my God. I was like, literally keeled over laughing. Oh my God, it's such a good show.
Were you high?
Yes. I literally
it was funny, but I don't know if it was keeling over funny. But if you were high,
so honestly, I feel like getting high and watching some of these shows makes it so much better. There's a scene in Love Is Blind UK.
Oh yeah. Did you finish watching it?
I did.
I didn't finish. No spoilers.
No, this isn't a spoiler. This is the very beginning. So you know the guy Tom that gets together with the Middle Eastern girl?
Yes.
So there's the scene where they first reveal and see each other, and I was a bit stoned, so maybe I found it more funny.
Oh, is it the scene where they kiss and then there's lipstick all over his face?
It literally looks like he's wearing lipstick.
Oh my God.
I can't take him, and he's talking to her.
I know.
And the whole time I'm just like, what the fuck?
He's like on his knees, and there's like lipstick all over his face.
And she's trying to like smudge it with her like finger, like to try to like get it off his lips.
And it's like getting worse.
And it makes it worse. It literally looked like he had a full lipstick on. I was like, I cannot. And I was like so stoned. I was crying. I could barely watch the show. My roommate was like, are you okay? Like, I was like, ah.
Oh God. Okay, pick one, Daniel.
Am I the asshole for not inviting my brother's baby mama to my wedding despite family pressure?
Family pressure.
I, 29 female, am a high school teacher, and we are planning to get married. I, 29 male, I'm a high school teacher, and we are planning to get married to my girlfriend, 28 female, also a teacher, in the coming fall. This is one wedding that we have been preparing for over a year now, and we couldn't be more excited about it. In this regard, it is possible to underline that my family's rather complicated. Aren't they all?
Yeah.
My brother has a child with his baby mama, with whom I'll refer to as Sharon, 24 female. These two lovers separated after their child was born acronymmously. What does that even mean?
Oh. I don't know.
Acronymmously 2 years ago.
Should we know that word? Are we stupid?
No, it's sometimes can we? Oh, I was like, can we Google it?
Google it, Daniel.
Okay.
Now I want to know.
And I'm curious.
It probably means like amicably.
Like maybe it means amicably, or maybe it means like
angry and bitterly. So it's the opposite of amicably. Acrimoniously. No, acrimonious. What did they? Yeah, acrimoniously.
So not a good breakup, guys.
Okay.
No, it's a new word that we learned, Rose. We be getting smarter
You also
every day.
said it completely wrong. Just FYI.
Acronymmously.
You said acronymmously.
Well, it doesn't matter. Come see, come saw.
Same but different.
Same but different.
Okay.
Now my brother and Sharon are on. Now my brother and Sharon are in speaking terms because they have to be for the sake of the kids, but they are not close buddies. Well, I surely know that they are no longer an item, and my brother has gone further to find another girlfriend. Okay, here comes the contrary. My mom, 56, has developed an obsessive love with Sharon.
What?
In which she often acts as if they are still a couple. My mom still persistently invites Sharon to events, even with my brother's new girlfriend around. Seriously, it's so embarrassing, and my brother despises it, though he hardly ever voices out his opinion just to avoid
conflict,
the creation of issue.
Oh.
Of course, now that my wedding is closer, my mom is telling me I have to invite Sharon because, well, she is practically family, and it would be nice for her to feel some morale. I have no issue with Sharon herself, but we're not friends, have never been close, and don't see each other on a regular basis. Neither is she close to my fiance, and honestly, I don't feel like she should come to our wedding. To add to this mess, A distant uncle, 65 male, with whom I don't normally see eye to eye with, but who loves to meddle in family affairs, called me a few days ago and said that not inviting Sharon would be a breach of family loyalty and I should do the right thing.
Is this real? Like,
fortunately, I've managed to hold my own until now, but now mom is talking about breaking the family apart because I refuse to invite Sharon. My own brother has refrained from making the comment because he doesn't wish to pay the price. My fiance applauds me for my decision I make, but he does not wish that issue should become part of his wedding show. So, am I the asshole for not inviting my brother's baby mama to my wedding, contrary to the growing pressure from my family?
No.
Absolutely not. Literally, I don't get this. I don't care. Even, you know what? Even if you have like, obviously with weddings, sometimes you invite like extended family and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not obligatory. Like if I have a wedding and let's say there's like family members that maybe I haven't spoken to or even hung out with or done anything with for so many years, I might not invite them. You know what I mean? I might just have my close family there. Like it's pardon me, it's entirely up to the couple that's getting married who the fuck they want there. If they don't want their brother's baby mama there, if they want to have a child-free wedding, if they want to have whatever, it's up to them.
It's their wedding.
It's their wedding.
God, are you okay?
I don't know, Rose. You got
getting a little too excited, a little too hated that.
I know what weddings get me all riled up. You know,
it's actually insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy that his mom's like, oh well, you have to. She's practically family, so you have to invite her.
No,
It's
she's
like,
not.
It's like, well, no, I have no relationship with her. You have a relationship with her. Like,
yeah, what the fuck is wrong with people? And also, like, I'm sorry, if I was the baby mama, I wouldn't want to go to that wedding. So why are we having this fucking conversation?
Exactly. You don't want to be there. Like,
I don't want to fucking be there. Like, what the
they broke up on bad terms. They're only on speaking terms because of the kids.
Because they have a kid together.
I don't even want to be associated with that family. Like, fuck.
God, imagine having a kid with your ex, but also you're on bad terms.
I can't. I can't.
Seriously.
It just is horrible. It's horrible. Not the asshole. Your mother's the person who is breaking the family apart by insisting on including someone no one else wants around. And she's made things worse by involving your shit-stirring uncle. Tell your mother that it's your wedding and your family does not include your brother's ex. Let her know that by prioritizing Sharon this way, she's disrespecting your fiance and that insistent on injecting this kind of drama into your wedding planning is upsetting to you. Tell her you don't want to discuss it again and you'll not respond to any more queries about it. Then do that. Do not answer any message if she brings it up. Do this now so the issue will die. Not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole.
Of course not the asshole.
God damn, people be crazy as hell with
fucking
these god
stupid
forsaken wins.
God.
That's the thing, guys. Like, honestly, it's your wedding. It's your time. Who you want to invite. You're paying for it. If I'm paying for it, I'm like, I don't want my brother's baby mama there that I'm going to have to pay for her dinner. Like, fuck that shit.
Exactly. You're paying for that shit. And again, if I was the fucking baby mama, I would not want to be there.
No, me neither. I'd be like, no, thank you.
Why would I fucking want to be there?
Thanks, but no thanks.
Thanks, but no thanks.
You know what I mean? I appreciate the gesture. It'd be a nice gesture, but I'm telling you, no. I'd be hyper.
You'd be hyper as hell, Daniels.
I'd be hyper as all hell.
Am I the asshole? For not telling my spouse I created an emergency fund without telling them. When first married, I sold some personal things and put money into an emergency fund. Roof leak, job loss, emergency room visit, whatever may happen. My goal was to be able to survive a large unexpected expense or a few months of no income without going under financially because of it. Fair, very reasonable. For context,
most people should have emergency funds.
Exactly. For context, I had items of value I could sell, obviously, but very little cash available, and she had virtually no cash available. We had plans to make enough to support ourselves with a little over the bare necessities, but not by much. Okay, so they're already stretched thin.
Yeah.
And then he's like, we probably need an emergency fund. Let me sell some shit.
Yeah.
I didn't tell my spouse about doing it, partly because I didn't want her to feel bad. I had sold things that, while not critical, I wanted, partly because I didn't want her to be considering it when making financial decisions, since it was supposed to be an emergency only fund and I could see rebuying the items if we ever became financially stable and could create an emergency fund on our own later, partly because it never touched out joint income or expenses, normal accounts, and for all intents and purposes would not impact our shared finances if not used. This may not need to this may not need to play into your response much, but she was raised making poor financial decisions. That wasn't too surprising. Not necessarily her fault. You only know what you know. But I still worried about how she may feel or react knowing there was substantial money that could be quickly accessed. Other detail, we have shared finances and I tried to make joint decisions for large purchases. It came up recently. When it came up, she felt that I had kept extensive financial secrets, failed to be appropriately honest and transparent, made decisions on her behalf, showed I don't believe in her ability to make good financial choices, disrespected her, and she's generally crushed and says she can't trust me. It was not malicious and I had no negative or bad intentions. However, I did keep it from her, and it was partly because her history prior to and since has shown poor financial choices, as she claims. Am I the asshole for not telling my spouse I created and didn't disclose an emergency fund with my personal items?
Dun dun dun.
What do you think, Daniel?
Oh, this is a tough one.
You think I'm gonna say not the asshole.
I'm gonna say, but the thing is, they do like they're pretty much like they're together, right? Like
they're married.
They're married, yeah.
But he sold personal things. I'm assuming his own things.
Yeah.
So like obviously before you're married, you have your own shit. I mean, even after you're married, you could have your own shit.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he sold his stuff, kept the money so that they could collectively use in case
there's an emergency.
There's some kind of emergency.
Yeah.
Now, of course, okay. What are your?
I feel like it's not like he's fully the asshole, but I feel like he should have maybe said something to just say, hey, I know that we're a little bit tight right now. We have, we're living paycheck to paycheck basically.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. So I've set aside some money by selling a few things. It's not for us to touch. Like, it's not for us to like use for anything else until we become financially secure, where we can create our own fund, and then maybe we can buy back some of the things I sold. They're all my own personal things. Like we didn't touch our joint finances at all, and I just want this for us to fall back on in case something happens. I think like letting her know that, and also yes, I get that she's had in the past, she's not been good with money. She's not been raised to be good with money, but like I think if you're transparent with her, like you're telling her like, hey, this is not a fund that we're going to access. Like you don't have access to it right now. We both don't. Like we're leaving it. It's only for emergencies. I think it would make this whole situation a little bit better just by having, because you're married, right? Like I feel like you have some.
I know.
It's a little bit tricky because like obviously, like even if I'm married with somebody, like the way that I envision how I'm going to handle my finances with this person is we'll have like something joint for all the common bills and everything else, but I'd have my own personal bank accounts and stuff, but that I would be saving in and doing everything else. So I see that there's going to be some element of like, maybe they're not going to fully know what I have, saved or invested. I mean, I don't know. It just like, it depends. I feel like I'd be pretty open and just like let them know, but like,
Yeah. Would you?
I don't want them to know how little money I have,
Oh my
how
God.
How broke I is. What do you think?
No, I don't think. Okay, listen. I think the reason, like,
I don't think he's an asshole for what he did. I think he's like slightly an asshole
for not
trusting her and just letting her know what was going on.
But it sounds like the concern is
she'll want to spend it.
She'll want to spend it and on things that maybe she thinks is an emergency. Where maybe it's not an emergency. So I think this is where the kind of problem lies. And you're right. I do agree that like it's always better to be transparent. Like you're getting married, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, your finances are coming together.
Exactly.
And
but like on that note, you're right. Like does your partner need to know, like if you keep something separate, do they need to know that I have a TFSA invested in XYZ and like all this other, like do they have to know all of that? Like is that something?
I mean, I think it is good to like at least have a general idea of like, okay, so like I have this much saved and this much saved, and I think that's always a good.
Well, and especially with debt too. Like if you have debt, you should be
that needs to be fully transparent. And because finances are like the number one reason people fucking get divorced. Yeah. Like you need to be like, especially when you're in a tight situation. Yes. It can be like, make or break.
Exactly, because it can get really stressful. That's why it's like number one reason for divorce is because like, especially if you're not making ends meet, that becomes more stressful. And I even think of the times where I was like living in like the UK and stuff, and I was like paycheck to paycheck, and things were a lot tighter. Yeah, I was more stressed. Like you're more like oh God. Whereas like as you get older and hopefully more comfortable and all that, it becomes less of a concern.
Yeah. I think like it sounds like he just he gave out all these reasons for not telling her, but really ultimately I think it sounds like he doesn't really trust her to know that there is the exactly. So we're seeing a few issues here where he doesn't trust her financial decisions, which fair enough. It sounds like maybe she didn't make the most financially savvy decisions.
Yeah.
And then so I mean, I don't know. And also her reaction seems a bit, I don't know. Okay, so what would you do here? Okay, so you got married, you found out that your fiance sold a bunch of personal stuff, has an emergency fund. I'd be like, oh, good on you.
I would be at first. I think I'd be a little bit like, oh, I wish you would have told me sooner.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of sucks that you didn't think that you could share that with me.
Right.
But then also I'd be like, it makes sense in the situation that we're in. We're living paycheck to paycheck. I'm glad that you've done that. So that we, if we do get into a situation.
Yeah.
We got some funds.
I think that she also is a bit insecure about, she knows that she's not good with finances. Yeah. So, when someone's like, when you already know that you're kind of bad at something and somebody like kind of like pokes you or like basically confirms that you're bad, then you get defensive and you're like, oh, I can't believe you think that I'm bad at my finances.
I feel like people that are really bad with finances, they know that they're bad with money.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
it's
not a surprise when people are like, well, you're really bad with money. And you're like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at so what's NAH? No assholes here.
Yes.
Right. Okay. The money was your money from selling personal items, and what to do with it was your choice. You made the choice not to tell her about it for sound reasons, which she continued to demonstrate. Although you don't say so, I'm going to assume that there were no situations that cropped up in the intervening time where using that money would have made a difference in your lives. On the other hand, it is completely reasonable for your wife to feel hurt and angry because she thought that you were both sharing all of your financial information and decisions and you weren't. Okay, interesting. Okay. Yeah, fair. Like, let's see here. Somebody wrote, I've seen stuff on this sub about women having secret runaway fund and how smart that is. But apparently this guy having a fund or joint expenses is him being dishonest. I wonder what the difference is. Interesting. Okay, that's a little bit different. Don't you think?
Yeah.
But also, like, who has a secret runaway fund?
I know. I'm like,
that's like if you're in an abusive relationship.
Exactly. That's when it's like something much more dire. Like,
well, I agree. Listen, I agree that everyone, whether you're a man or a woman, should have your own independent financial, you need to, like because like you never want to be in a marriage or in a relationship where you are financially fully dependent on that person that you cannot leave if you need to. Right.
Well, it's funny because this exact topic came up in White Lotus season 1 because the girl is having issues because the guy she's marrying is this like mega wealthy person and his mom comes and joins them. And then his mom's like, you don't need to work, sweetie. Like just plan fun things. And it's like, well, you could do that. And some people, they would love to do that. But at the end of the day, if at any point he decides that he doesn't want to be married to you anymore or anything else, and you've been married for let's say 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have to re-enter the workforce with like limited to no skills potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
You are the one that gets fucked.
Exactly.
Not him because he's got the money.
So I think it is smart for people to have their own independent finances. That doesn't mean that you don't have to share it with your, I don't think it's like healthy to have a secret fund. Again, that's if you're in a fucking abusive relationship and you're trying to leave, then you might want to like save up some secret money and then get the fuck out of there.
100%.
Okay. But unless you're in a like abusive fucking unhealthy relationship, I don't think I don't know who's advising people to have a secret runaway fund. Like what the fuck?
I know, it's so random.
That's so fucking random.
But I do think there's something to be said about having your own personal finances in terms of like, even if you're together, I think this is the modern way of doing things nowadays. It's like you have a joint account for all your joint expenses and everything else. But if you're both working, you have your own investment portfolios that you want to do. You have your own stuff. And like maybe you have a combined trip fund or something where you both put money into for like vacations. But like your other stuff, it's like nice to have it separate because you're right. Like the reality of it is like, what is it? 50% of marriages end in divorce, right? So you're just covering your bases to say, hey, I have my separate money. You have your separate money. We have our joint stuff. Obviously, it still sucks if we split up, but I have my own stuff going on, which you don't have access to. That is mine.
Exactly. It is always smart.
If I choose to buy something for you out of that fund, that's up to me.
Exactly.
But you ain't got access to it.
Exactly.
Honey.
So someone wrote, info, has she made significant poor financial decisions since you created the fund that have used joint money without consulting you? And have there been financial emergencies that the money could have been alleviated, but you choose not to touch it? It sounds like you made some personal sacrifices to ensure a financial safety net for the family. The problem is you kept it a secret, and whether that is justified or not is difficult to say without evidence. Either way, it will be difficult to convince your wife of the correctness of your intentions if she refused to acknowledge her issues with financial decisions, if such issues exist. Here's the thing. It's like I assume that she has poor financial decision-making skills.
Yeah.
Based on everything that he said. So I can understand why, like, you know, you might want to keep it a secret just in case. She's like, oh my God, but how about we use it for this? And then you feel bad.
Oh, we need a new TV. Let's use the 10 grand you have in the emergency fund.
Exactly.
It won't use all of it. It will just use a little bit of it.
Exactly. Anyway,
like, no.
Someone wrote, not the asshole. I'm a woman and I've always had my separate emergency fund from my husband and he his. We do have a shared money market as well on top of that. The issue is that she's not empowered with her finances. And because of this, you feel you can't share this information with her. She needs to set up her own individual savings, and you as her partner should encourage this so she can start practicing good financial habits. I don't see it as you hiding anything from her at all. It's normal for people to come into a relationship with assets, which is what you did. You sold your things and set up a fund just in case. This is responsible. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so she's saying not the asshole. Let's see. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. No assholes here. Okay, so most people saying not the asshole.
God damn.
Interesting.
Roses.
But you are right. I think the healthiest way to do it for a healthy relationship is to be mostly transparent. Yeah. But who knows? We ain't married.
That's true. I know. Am I the asshole for defending my boyfriend because my friend called my boyfriend controlling, who comes to my doctor's appointments all the time?
Okay, so the boyfriend comes to the doctor's appointment. Okay, continue.
I don't know if that's going to be great English, but
yeah.
Hello, everybody. I think a little bit of backstory is needed for the situation. Me, 24 female, and my boyfriend, 24 male, have been dating for 2.5 years, and my boyfriend is studying medicine, and it's his last year. The hospital he interns is the best hospital in my city, might be the best in the state. So when I need to go to the doctors, I try to arrange my appointments when he's in the hospital so that he can come with me. The hospital is quite big, and he helps me with that. Also, having someone with you for your appointments is quite good overall. He actually comes into the doctor with me during the consultations. I sometimes panic during the appointments and tend to forget what doctors say, so he reminds me. And usually I don't have any problems with that. When I don't want him in, I will tell him to wait outside for me. So the issue is I recently had a surgery on my nose. I had a deviated septum, and I had a control appointment 2 weeks after the surgery where my boyfriend also came with me. In the appointment, they look into your nose with a thin camera, and a camera that they see from a TV to see the stitches and the overall healing process. And he watched it all. After the appointment, I met with my friend and I told her about the appointment, and she was so shocked about my boyfriend coming to the appointment and watching the camera footage of my nose. She said that is very controlling of him to going into the appointment with me and listening to everything the doctor says. I explained to her that I actually prefer him in there since he is also a doctor and eases my panic to that. She told me that I act like a pick-me who is incapable of handling her own appointments, and he is probably disgusted by me because he saw inside of my nose.
What?
She said that inside of someone's nose is a disgusting place
what?
for a partner to see.
He's a doctor,
I know.
like a would-be doctor.
I know. He's like...
He's seen worse, I'm sure.
To that, I said that they work in rotation, so he comes in when his colleague is working, and he is free, but she didn't budge. All she tried to talk about was this 3 topics. Whenever I tried to change the topic, she wouldn't let me. Throughout this conversation, she spoke in a calm and sweet but demanding tone. She didn't sound mad or anything, so if I snapped at her, I thought I would overreact. Whole evening was weird, and I left shortly after my efforts of changing the topic. Now I'm ashamed that my boyfriend saw the inside of my nose. LOL, how should I act? How should I talk to my friend about how it happened, or should I act like nothing happened?
Okay, wait, what's the asshole part here? That she defended her boyfriend?
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, what?
This one's a weird one. And also, oh my God, guys, the grammar, I had to struggle to make it sound okay on this podcast because let me tell you, there are words fucking missing. There is all kinds of things happening in this. I'm like, what is going on? I was
like, there's something wrong with.
I know. Oh God.
Not the asshole. Like,
I kind of want to pick one more because that one was lame.
Okay, I mean, so not the asshole. Yeah,
not
pick
the
another
asshole.
One. Pick a different one, Daniel.
I'll pick one more, guys. We still
so we're not even deep diving on that one.
No, I mean, it's just so dumb. It's so, oh my God, my boyfriend saw the inside of my nose and I had a fight with my friend about it. Like,
it's giving 24-year-old.
Yeah, it's giving very that. Okay.
Okay, hopefully the grammar's a little better on this one.
Looks like it is so far. Am I the asshole for not helping anyone in my family financially?
Oh.
I'm honestly so sick and tired of this. I'm the first one in my family to go to college, and now I work as a CSM, client service manager.
Okay.
I'm guessing, which makes good money, but I have a lot of student loans, and my family just found out I have a professional job, and I'm getting calls from everyone asking for money. Especially around the end of the month, everyone has a sob story about not being able to afford their rent, their dog's not getting the shots they need, having to go to the food bank, etc. I have many cousins and 2 siblings, and they aren't rich, and they aren't rich and constantly moving between jobs. One of my siblings has 2 children with different women and constantly behind on child support, which he tries to get from me. I'm tired and out of sympathy. Mm-hmm. When I was younger and more naive, I did lend them money, which was never repaid, and I'm down a few thousand. And I vowed to myself I would never lend them again, would never lend for any reason again. I've blocked them, but my cousin called me via a different number and told me her son needs allergy shots as he is allergic to the family.
What?
As he's allergic to the family, but that isn't covered by insurance. What the fuck?
What? I
hung up and she just kept trying to call and sending me photos of her son and dog and texts begging me not to make her get rid of her pet. Maybe she meant to say allergic to the family
dog.
Pet. Yeah.
Oh my God. Allergic to the family.
I know. I feel bad because I've just recently paid off my auto loan and I have some extra in my savings, but I have no idea how much those shots cost. And if she asks, she will take it as I'm going to pay for it and never let up. I told my boyfriend and he told me to ignore it, but it's easy for him to say because his family doesn't ever ask for money.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's the end?
Yeah.
Not the asshole? What do you think, Daniel?
I would also say not the asshole. Like, at the end of the day, guys, I think there's something to be said about, you know, obviously you get older and like maybe you're making more money and you're financially more secure. Like, does that mean, and especially now, like shit's expensive. Even people that are financially secure, things cost so much money, like all the time. And I really feel like as adults, we should be responsible for our own finances.
Yes.
Now, that being said, if you want to, I think it's nice to be able to like treat your family and do things for them. I think that's great. But do I think it's okay? Or if there was like an extreme situation, right?
Yes.
Like something crazy happened and your family member's like, you know, for whatever reason, but this is like,
it sounds like she's been dealing with this for years.
Oh,
that's the difference. Like, it's not like, it's like, oh, there's a difference between like, for example, like, you know, if you, for example, one day you're like, oh my God, like something crazy happened and I need to borrow like a few thousand. I'd be like, no problem.
Yeah.
Fucking take this. Yeah. Right? Because like we've never had this issue before. We've never really like asked each other for money. And if we did, we always pay each other back. Yeah. So we have a very like, you know, sound financial, you know, friendship or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Same thing with my family members. Like nobody's really asked me for money.
Yeah.
It's always been like very, you know, so if somebody in my family asked me for money, I'd probably give it to them because I don't have this like strained relationship.
Yeah.
Sounds like she's been dealing with this for years
and
it's not even an emergency.
Exactly.
They're just fucking asking her because they know she has a lot of money or
exactly.
whatever.
And also like she said that she's loaned them money in the past.
Exactly.
Never got paid back. That's another thing too. So
yes.
I have, not naming any names, but I've loaned money in the past and had issues getting it back, not to Rose, but to other people. Yeah. And I've said to myself like that after that, I'm like, I'm never loaning those particular individuals money ever again. Yes. And I have been asked again and I was like, no.
Exactly.
You just kind of like learn, right? So, and one of my friends did tell me, and I thought this was a really, really good point. And I don't know if it applies so much to family, a little bit to friends, but probably family too, is like you should never loan anyone an amount of money that you're uncomfortable losing. Right. So like, because the chances are, I mean, not the chances, most of the time, hopefully they'll pay you back, but on the off chance that they don't, you have to be comfortable walking away from that money. Yeah. So like, if you're comfortable walking away from a couple thousand, you're like, you know what, I'll give you a couple thousand. And in your mind, you're like, I'm probably not going to get this back, but I'll try to.
Yeah.
then, you know, don't loan someone so much money and you expect to get it all back too, you know?
And also this family member, whoever the fuck, that's like, oh, my son or daughter is like allergic to why do you even have pets?
This is so funny. Because someone literally wrote this. They said, your extended family are more than able to sort themselves out. If there's someone in the house allergic to dogs, don't get a dog.
Exactly.
If you've got kids with an ex, earn enough or don't spend so much to ensure you can meet your child payments. They shouldn't be seeing you as an overdraft.
Well, that's another thing. It's like people just having fucking children. I saw these people that are like, it's very irresponsible to keep having children if you can't financially support your children. Well, and it's kind of true.
Exactly. Well, it's 100% true. And the thing is, honestly, it sounds like with this particular thing, this situation is like these people are always asking, right? There will be a new sob story every week.
Exactly.
The second that you start giving people money that are asking, like, hey, you know, like my dog or XYZ, you give them money once, they know that they can get it from you.
Exactly.
So they're going to try again and again.
And somehow they can't make their rent payments every single fucking month.
I know. And it's like, well, you need to budget better, get a different job, work more, whatever it is. Downsize, whatever you need to do. And another thing too is like the one thing that really kicks me, because I have loaned money in the past, the one thing that really kicks me about this, money's such an interesting thing because the dynamic shifts, and it's a weird thing where, you know, for example, let's say a friend of yours comes to ask you for money, and they're like, hey, can I borrow like $1,000 or $2,000? You loan it to them, right? You're doing them a fucking favor, right? Like you're giving them your hard-earned money to say, hey, you know what? I know you're going through a shit time. Here's $2,000. We'll work out a payment plan when you can afford to pay me, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, every single time I've done this, and well, not every single time because there's some friends that are good and whatever, but like it then becomes this interesting dynamic where all of a sudden you have a payment plan, they don't stick to it, you're chasing them, they start to make you feel like the bad guy because you're trying to collect your money back that you loaned them in the first place. So it's like it's so bad. It's crazy. And this always blows my mind because it's like they forget the people that you loan the money to. And again, I'm not saying everybody, right? But I feel like this family would be similar. It's like they forget that you've already done them a favor, and them paying you back shouldn't be a hassle, and you reminding them shouldn't make you a dick. You should actually just be on top of your payments anyway because they went out of their way to fucking help you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, that's the thing. People like this as well. People that are more likely to be this type of person, like constantly asking people for money and all that stuff. They're the ones that will make you feel bad for chasing after them. Of course. That's the thing. Because like if I ever get loaned money, I want to pay them back as soon as possible because I feel horrible. And I also don't want to put them in a position where they feel like they have to ask me. You know? So I always try to keep it at the top of my head. I'm like, oh, I owe this person $20 or, you know, it could be something small. But but also like I know that weird position to be in where you lend someone like maybe $50 and you feel weird for asking them, oh God, it's only $50. Like, do I have to chase them? But then it's like if they don't pay you back, you're like, ugh, like, you know, I still want the $50 back.
Exactly.
But like, I also don't want to be the, you know, stingy person that's asking for $50.
And then this is the crazy thing is you shouldn't feel like that.
I shouldn't feel like
because
that.
You did them a favor to begin with. But that's what always happens. Like, and it's happened for me where I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to remind them again. Like maybe I'll wait a few more days and see if the money's in my account. And every time, and then it's like it's a big hassle. And then you're like, oh fuck, like I don't want to be doing this. Like, and so that's been my wake up call to be like, for certain people in my life, I'm like, never again.
Oh goddamn.
And on that positive
note, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know in the comments if you are watching on YouTube. Let us know what your thoughts are on any of the stories that we discussed today. Make sure you thumbs up this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on whatever podcast platform you listen to us on. And what else, Daniels?
Of course, guys, don't forget to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast. Link is in the show notes. You get exclusive content every single month with an exclusive episode. All content on there is ad-free. You get everything a week before everybody else. It's just a fun little community over there. So check it out.
Yeah, check it out, you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.